We are all at home in these days without going to school or without going into outside. Sometimes your parents may be telling to you that study this time, reduce the watching of TV or the usage of mobile phone, don't go with your friends outside. Orally they are telling all these things by a discussion by both the parents, papa and mummy together. They are not writing and giving you these orders. When it comes into our school, our father or principal used to send the notes to you, orders to you, tomorrow's timing or the uniform pattern and like that of things. The peon comes into the classroom, each and every classes, and the teachers read the message of father or the principal. This is an order given by the principal. Who gives the order for the whole country? Of course, it is central government. And what is the procedure for that? About all this, we are going to study in chapter 5, working of the institution in political science. So today we are starting with the chapter 5 in political science, working of the institutions. On August 13, 1990, an order was signed by the Joint Secretary of the Ministry of Personnel, Grievances and Pensions. What was that order given? That number was given like this: OM number, Office Memorandum number 36012/31/90. This was the dated 13/8/1990. This was the order number given by that. It was a one-page order, written things, not a very elaborated order. But this order made a lot of controversy in our country. So what was that order? About that we are going to study first. This order was completely for the scheduled and educationally backward classes. Socially and educationally backward classes, SEBC. And the commission, this order said that 27% of the vacancies which comes under the central government should be reserved for socially and educationally backward classes, SEBC groups. This created a controversy in our country. Till then, the reservations were given only to scheduled caste and scheduled tribal people, SC/ST people. Now a new third category came into, that is SEBC, and it is written that 27% of the vacancies of the government should be given for SEBC, scheduled socially and educationally backward classes people. This was written in that office memorandum which was signed in August 13, 1990. Now we are going to study about how this office memorandum made up of. The steps to this office memorandum. First step of that, in 1979, the central government appointed a commission under the chairmanship of B.P. Mandal. B.P. Mandal, he was the head of the commission, as it was appointed as second backward class commission to study about the backward classes of India and to identify the backward classes of India and for to give suggestions for the advancement of these backward classes of India. This was the target given to this commission headed by B.P. Mandal. Commission studied about this, and in the next year 1980 they gave the report to the government, to the parliament, about their findings. Many recommendations included. In that, one recommendation was that of 27% reservation to the vacancies of the central government of our country to the SEBC. That was the one of the recommendation given by this Mandal Commission by 1980. The parliament discussed this commission report in detail, but it was not implemented for a long time. Many political parties, many parliamentarians, they all demanded the governments of that time period to implement this report, but it was not implemented. By 1989, an election comes into the parliament. a new party born up. Its name was Janata and its leader was VP Singh. And this party in its election manifesto said that if they come into power, they would try to put out the report of Mandal Commission, implement the report of Mandal Commission. VP Singh became the Prime Minister after the election. And they decided to implement this Mandal Commission report in our country. So that step started in 1990 in the parliament meeting, the joint session of the parliament meeting. Normally the president addressed the parliament meeting, the first meeting. He addresses that the government is interested to implement this Mandal Commission report. In his speech, he said about this. On August 6th, 1990, the meeting of the cabinet ministers conducted, and in that meeting they decided to implement the Mandal Commission report. On August 7, VP Singh, the Prime Minister, addressed the Parliament, and in a statement he said that his government is planning to implement the report, Mandal Commission report. That means the 27% reservation is planning to give up to the people. After that, it is sent into the ministry, that personal ministry, the grievances and the pension ministry, and the senior officers of that department under that ministry, they drafted that order on the basis of the cabinet ministry's report. And an officer, the joint secretary in that ministry, he signed that order. He signed the order of the cabinet meeting. That means this Mandal Commission report they are planning to implement in the country. So the joint secretary, he signed the meeting. Now it is going to be implemented. On which day it was signed? That is what I said in the beginning. August 13, 1990, it was signed by the joint secretary of the Ministry of Personal Training and Grievances and Pension. So such a long process I explain now. Starting from 1979, from the appointment of the Mandal, BP Mandal as the head of the commission, to August 13, 1990. Its implementation. Final report signed by the joint secretary. Now various discussions and debates happened in the coming months. Hot discussions in the newspapers, in the magazines, in the weeklies and different places. Different protest and counter protest by the people, those who are supporting and those who are not supporting. It became a violent situation in our country for months and months. Many people committed suicide. Finally, some people gave the complaint in the Supreme Court. They filed their appeal in the Supreme Court to discuss about this order. Supreme Court heard about this order by 11 judges. It was a bench of 11 judges. They heard the order and all the arguments of the people, and finally by 1992 Supreme Court order this by the report of majority of the judges in that committee, they finally put out the verdict that the decision of the government was correct. The order was correct. Implementation of the order was correct. But at the same time, these judges asked the government to make some changes in that. There are some well-to-do people in the backward classes, in the socially and educationally backward classes. So that people should not get the benefit of the situation. So Supreme Court asked the government to have some changes in that. And by 1993, a new order put out by the central government on September 8. And in that, the new suggestions are made, included, and that problem solved out. So this is the way a memorandum, an office memorandum or an order comes into our country. Okay.